Ambition trailer has been with us a number of weeks now, and I've got a burning sensation in my pants that quite frankly needs a doctor's attention, because I am so excited for the new documentary that is out any day now. Stick around to the end, where we're going to be pulling this trailer apart like Mel Gibson in Braveheart. Huzzah! It's finally here. Or it's been here for a couple of weeks. We've got the Iron Maiden Burning Ambition trailer, which has been something I've been looking forward to a long time. I've known about this for quite some time. Before I get into the trailer and discussing exactly what it is that the trailer revealed, or indeed didn't reveal, I just want to let you guys know, if you stick around to the end, I want to talk to you about this channel and exactly where this channel is headed and the long-term plan that I have in place. But in the meantime, let's get into it. So the trailer's been with us a little while now, and it is quite an interesting trailer to say the least, in the sense of it doesn't really give a lot away, but it's also showing us quite a lot, probably more than we realise. The trailer itself is multi-layered. It features a number of different things that I want to cover, so I'm going to try and structure this in a way that's going to make it easier for us to break it all down. Moving on, we're going to have to talk about the fact there's a number of cameos in this. Some are expected, some of them not so expected. Starting off with the actor, Javier Bardem. Famously, Javier has been seen to obviously be a metal fan. He was seen at Judas Priest concert, enjoying, I think it was, he was singing along to You Got Another Thing Coming. And also, you know, he's in this wearing his Can I Play with Madness t-shirt, which I assume is from his own personal collection, so it's good to note that he prefers some of the Riggs artwork. Javier, of course, making it very clear that he thinks Maiden are the gods of metal. Strong, again, opening statement as we get into the cameos. Next in line is a man who raged against the machine so hard it's now worse than ever. It is Tom Morello. Tom Morello, the guitar player for Rage Against the Machine, and also Audio Slave, along with a number of other side projects. Tom, obviously, whenever he sees a Maiden shirt out of the wild, will throw you the horns. So I'm curious to see whether or not that's the case. He'd have a hard time at a Maiden gig, can you imagine? Moving on with Scott Ian as well. You know, Scott, who not only is of course one of the big four with Anthrax, and was also a guitar player for Stormtroopers of Death, who famously parodied Iron Maiden's album cover, The Number of the Beast, with their album. You know, it makes sense for Scott to be in this, of course, as well. Not only is he a huge fan and vocalised that on social media over the years and in the press, he has also toured with Maiden in the 1990s under the No Prayer on the Road tour. So, you know, again, it's not really a surprising cameo. Even though he put his meat in Meatloaf's daughter, I have to say it's really cool to see Scott Ian wearing a Purgatory shirt done by Derek Riggs back from the 81 album Killers. That's one of my favourite ever artworks by Derek Riggs. I actually have a t-shirt of it as well, so it's really good to see him wearing one as well. It seems like we have similar taste. However, the next cameo from none other than Chuck D of Public Enemy. I was aware that Chuck D had a passion for the band on some level, but I wouldn't have thought he would have appeared in this, so it's good to see him in this. It's also interesting to note that Scott Ian and of course Public Enemy famously did their song Bring the Noise together, so it's an interesting combination. One of the people in this, of course, is also Lars Ulrich, and there's no question at all, Lars, James Hetfield, both of them massive Iron Maiden fans. Again, publicly on social media, in the press, they have stated multiple times that of course they are huge fans of the band. It inspired them to you know, get into music and listen to the heavy metal. And Lars Ulrich has been photographed sitting and talking or hanging out with Steve Harris on a number of occasions, so it just makes sense. I mean, it's more than likely Steve would have said contact Lars, or, you know, given them some sort of push in the right direction during a pre-production meeting in order to facilitate that. So it, you know, absolutely is right that Lars is there. Hopefully the other guys are there as well. One of the people who didn't appear in the trailer but was mentioned on the opening press release was Gene Simmons of Kiss. Gene, who famously, you know, has toured with the band when they were just starting out, or when they'd just been signed to EMI Records back in 1980. Kiss took the band out on tour with them and took them on a world tour, and, you know, really just showed them a lot of, you know, things about life on the road, really helped sort of position them and helped to kickstart their career as they went through. Was just a really good opportunity for them. But it's interesting how he wasn't in this trailer, given that, of course, as we all know, Gene does like to have an opinion on almost everything. But it'll be interesting to see whether or not he makes the final cut. So if he doesn't appear in this, I'm going to be a bit surprised. Also, one of the things I didn't address was the fact that Lars, when he's on the screen, he is actually talking about Eddie and addressing the point. One of the things that absolutely has to appear in this is just how many iconic iterations we've had of Eddie. And as I said before, it is paramount for this documentary to be authentic and true to the band's history. If they're going to cover various aspects of the band, you cannot cover this band without talking about the imagery and the, you know, just the amazing work that Derek Riggs put into building this visual identity that the band have. And it was quite an upsetting thing in the trailer for me, because they actually showed the Killers album, wonderful, but they showed the version of the album that is badly photoshopped. If you look carefully on the left hand side, you can see where they've just clone stamped the left hand edge and just extended it, which is just really bizarre. So I don't know what resources they're using for the documentary when it comes to, you know, authentic copies of the original artwork, but it's very upsetting to see things like that, because it doesn't fill me with a lot of hope in some aspects of things. Lars is obviously, you know, talking about Eddie, so hopefully we'll get to see some new unreleased artworks. That's something I always hope to see all the time, because there's so much stuff out there that has all been tucked away in, you know, the record vaults and things like that, that we've just not been allowed to see. And the ones we have been allowed to see have never been sort of, you know, produced again for us to actually enjoy in the proper way they should. So hopefully they will actually cover this topic properly. I have to say, those are the only cameos in the trailer, but there are a hell of a lot of people out there that I feel would be a good fit for appearing in this. Especially if you really want to do justice to the global impact the band has had. Undoubtedly, I would say personally, you're going to want to have Lady Gaga in it, because she's vocalised, you know, her opinion on thoughts on the band a number of times, been seen pictured with the band, of course. Then you got the Monty Python's Graham Chapman, who appeared in their video Can I Play with Madness. You know, the guys from the Python, you know, the few of them that are left, but, you know, as far as I know, they are fans of the band in some way, shape or form. Bruce sang a parody of a Shirley Bassey style song on one of their documentaries from Monty Python. So again, for me, it makes sense that maybe Eric Idle should appear in this documentary, because Eric Idle has been photographed wearing one of the band's shirts that I've discovered recently here. So it's a good thing, you know, if that can happen. Then you've got plenty of other people who vocally either expressed their passion for the band or worn the merchandise. You've got Taylor Momsen, you've got Frank Turner, you've got Tobias Forge, you've got you know, Jason Momoa as an actor, you've got Steve O, who of course is a huge Maiden fan, and you've also got Michael Fassbender, Danny Filth as well, of course, famously covering Hallowed Be Thy Name, and again on multiple occasions has said what a fan he is of the band. Continuing with the Eddie theme, one of the things that was said was that we will get to see some exclusive Eddie animations. One of the things I noticed was a very, very quick snippet, which I'm sure most of you saw, of Eddie just walking towards the camera. It looked to be more in the sort of Killers vein, if you like, in terms of the style, the appearance that they wanted to go with. So it'd be interesting to see whether or not the animations are purely Eddie, or whether they will actually be animations of the band members potentially, and you know, if they're narrating a story, if they'll put an animation to that narration in order to paint the scene, or if it'll just be you know, only Eddie animations throughout the actual documentary in various different guises. It'd be good to see them animate some of the album covers and the artwork and things. It would be really, really cool if, personally, although the chances are very, very slim, that they could actually show us some unreleased artwork. Even if they just show us one, I'd be happy with that, because it'd be good to see some things that we haven't seen before. Now, we covered off most of the trailer except one final thing, and that is you guys. That is the fans who are the anchor point to the whole reason the band became successful. As the band have said many, many times, without us, there would be no Iron Maiden. Without us being there supporting not only the band, but supporting each other and enjoying the reciprocal, you know, relationship that we have with the band. They put out great music, we go see it live, we enjoy what the band has to offer. It's just it's testament to everything that they've achieved. They're absolutely bigger than ever, as one of the fans points out, than they've ever been before, which is kind of crazy because many people refer to the 80s as the golden years, but it's almost like if, you know, the platinum years now, they're now just doing so much. They have done some absolutely remarkable things in the last 26 years since Bruce came back to the fold, which I know was again a point in the band. It looks like they're going to talk about Bruce leaving and feeling the pressure and not being happy, and Blaze coming in, and then Bruce coming back, and kind of the resurgence from that point of view. It looks like there are going to be moments where the fans are going to get to voice their opinions in this documentary, which is an interesting take on it. And I, for one, am looking forward to it because some of those fans are some of my friends. I know a few people who've been asked to attend this, and I'm really looking forward to hearing what they have to say. Although I didn't see him in the trailer, I'm assuming my friend Stepan is going to be in this. He's the guy who's written a number of books and helped to manage Paul Di'Anno before he sadly passed away. I know that my friend Rasmus is going to appear in this. Now, I have to mention this because there is an individual that I have never met. He's an Iron Maiden fan. I have spoken to him at length. He's one of the absolute nicest guys that I've ever spoken to, and we have hopefully at some point in the near future, or are going to have at some point in the near future, the opportunity to actually meet in person. But my friend Rojas, he is a author of a number of different Iron Maiden books, and some of which you can actually see just here, or I think it's just a frame actually. But yeah, his books are absolutely remarkable bits of work. I'll put a link below so you guys can have a look and buy them. But he was asked to be to attend and be one of the fans that appeared in this, and unfortunately he wasn't able to at the time for various reasons. So it was a real shame to know that he wasn't going to be in this, because if anyone deserved to be in it, absolutely he did. So yeah, hopefully we'll do something for you here and talk a bit more on this channel as time goes on. But yeah, no, it looks like it's going to be a really, really good positive experience for the fans. It's not often a band will interview their own fans to appear in their own documentary, but the production crew actually did a really, really good job of letting people know that you know, or of getting hold of the right people. I actually had a little bit of a hand in that. I certainly gave the production crew a list of names in order to be able to put the feelers out and get hold of the right people. So it looks like they did exactly that, and they found the right people for this. And again, of course, the trailer closes out with the brilliant line from the In Vivo DVD of Bruce saying that we are all blood brothers, and you know, that comes right after the fan section in the trailer. So it's you know, the trailer, to be fair, it had a few cliches in terms of the soundtrack and you know the things it was doing, but overall it was a great way to sort of set the mood and get fans excited for what's about to come up. So there we have it. Those are all the different aspects of the trailer that we've been shown so far. The band have actually released a few different mini teaser trailers and kind of promo things filmed at the Cart and Horses with fans, just to hype the movie up a little bit and, you know, hype up the various activities that are going to be happening leading towards July, when the band make their brilliant Nebworth Festival appearance, which is just going to be unreal. I've already got my ticket for that as well. The best thing that I sort of take away from this trailer is the potential that this is a story that's going to be told by other people and not so much by the band. And the reason I say that is because Steve has already been on record as saying this is a documentary about them but not by them. Footage, some of the audio overdubs that they put on there about the highs and the lows of the band kind of leads you to think that, you know, there's obviously going to be an element of quality control over that by the band. Of course, they're not going to let anything be released that they don't want out there. It will be a very interesting thing to see the final product, and I'm kind of hoping that they don't spend a lot of time talking about what's already been covered by the Early Days series that was released on DVD. You had obviously the Early Days part 1, 2, 3 that were released, which is covering more of a particular period of the band, the first sort of 10, 12 years, roughly around that sort of period. And then after that, they just stopped. So I'm hoping that they don't spend too much time on that. And if they do, I want more focus on the very, very beginning of the band, as opposed to the sort of 80s heyday. But what I would like to see are the you know, different things that maybe perhaps we don't know about, maybe some personal behind the scenes footage recorded by Steve. Steve was a very keen photographer and probably still is a keen photographer, to the point where he even had his own darkroom built into his house. So it'd be great to see some of his own personal photos from his collection appear in this, and it would also be really good to hear from some people, some family members perhaps, of what they think of you know, their dads effectively being, or their husbands, partners being you know, part of such a successful band. Sadly, of course, there are a few people who can't be around for such an appearance in the documentary, but hopefully it'll be a bit of an eye-opener and something fun to see. Something, I hope, where I see something that I've never expected to see before. That's always a hope when it comes to, you know, seeing a documentary. And during the process of the teaser trailer, there were all these different you know, scrolling text sort of cutscenes, just showing the fact, you know, this is a story of, you know, the best band or the most incredible story of one of the biggest bands in the world, told by themselves in their own words for the first time ever. What that means, who quite knows, whether or not there'll be any kind of revelationary things in there that we didn't know before, that we didn't get to see in any of the band's biographies, like Run to the Hills or Running Free, or any of the fan biographies and things that have been floating around since by various different journalists, whether it's Martin Popoff or whether it's Joe Schumann, to name another one, or whether it's even my friend Lewis. It'd be interesting to see what's actually going to come about. The reviews, however, coming in from various different publications. You've got Rolling Stone, you've got Krang, you've got Metal Hammer, of course, and you've also got Empire magazine. They're all saying what a great film this is, how amazing it is. Of course, they've all had access to the movie, or a rough cut potentially, early on before the final release. And it's also interesting, you know, how much hype there is within the trailer to promote it. It's good that the band haven't released 75 versions of the trailer, you know, the red cut and all this sort of stuff. It just leaves enough to the imagination to know that this is a film, if you're an Iron Maiden fan, that you should go see. And once I'm done with this, I will be going to see the film, I will review it, and I'll be posting my thoughts up on here. One thing I wanted to let you guys know about is exactly what's going on with this channel. So why am I doing this? Why am I reviewing a trailer that's already been out for a couple of weeks? Well, to be fair, it is something I've been working on for a hell of a long time. I really want to talk about the band at length. I want you guys to get familiar with the kind of things that this channel is going to be doing going forwards, and just wanted to let you know that I am more than excited for this trailer, because I have actually been researching the band exclusively for at least the last 10 years, if not longer, and as a result of that, I have some very high expectations for this documentary. And there you go. So that's everything. There's nothing more to say on the trailer. Watch it again. What are your thoughts? Let me know below, and I hope that you guys get out of the film exactly what you hope for. I know, like I said before, I've got some things I want to see, and some things that I hopefully will be shown that I didn't even know I wanted to see.